It's Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pmerance. Our guest is Curt Hagman. He's a member of the California State Assembly. And sir, I want to talk to you about how the budget is passed in our state. As you know, a couple of years ago, there was an initiative on the ballot called Prop 25, and it changed the formula. It used to be to pass a budget, a 2/3 vote was needed. Now it's 50% plus one. We're in our second year. How has that played out?
Well, great to be back, Brad.
Please.
I think you look at last year's budget and where we are now. We start off this year with a major deficit because the budget passed last year, and we were sued for that. If you remember that.
I do.
And it wasn't budget. It wasn't balanced, but they came up with we call it phantom $5 billion, and plus all the cuts the governor wanted to do were not accepted by the federal courts. So a couple reasons. We were started up $8 billion behind this year. It has its pros and cons. One, we do get a budget. We don't believe it's balanced. We don't like the choices as a minority party. Not all of it's done. We passed the budget a couple weeks ago, but really there's a whole bunch of trailer bills that could be done. And with this new language, one more phenomenon that we found out is you slap $1,000 appropriation on any policy, you can make that a budget bill. So normal policy issues go through committees on both sides, get aired out. Now it can be left done in the middle of the budget.
Right. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because one could argue that the voters agreed to this new formula because in the proposition's language it said if a budget is not passed on time, that members' pay could be docked. The controller said a balanced budget was not passed on time, and the courts rejected that, saying the controller can't make that decision. So that stick is really not effective.
The stick's not there, and with the broad language of 41% on any budget bill, you can name any policy bill that would normally take a lot of airing out, a lot of committee work. You could put a policy behind the dead of night and slap $1,000 on it and make it a budget bill.
But here's the frustrating thing. Whether you're in the minority or the majority, I think voters would want everyone involved in the process.
Correct.
And Sacramento has become quite polarized, more than in the past. And from what I understand, the majority party, for better or for worse, there's not a lot of interchange on these issues.
Not at all. I'm part of leadership, and we have not been invited to the table for any reason. It's almost like, haha, we could do this now.
But it goes both ways.
Correct.
And is there a way to somehow get? I mean, because I know you're friends. I know that. I mean, I've seen you at dinner and at bars. Being friends. Why can't friends somehow get together and say, look, let's talk. Let's talk about these things.
Well, you remember the criticism back a few years ago about the Big Five getting together.
I do.
Now it's the Big Three.
Right, and the Big Five were the GOP leaders, the Dem leaders, and the governor.
Yeah, now it's the governor and Perez and Steinberg.
Right.
Those are the people who negotiate the budget. The rest of the Democrats and the rest of the Republicans.
And even the Democrats are being shut
correct.
out.
They will not see what they vote on until the day they vote on it. They'll have some general clue what direction they're going, but they actually won't know the language of certain things. And languages do make a big difference. A sentence here or there makes a big difference. So the process is not, I don't believe, what the public wanted. They wanted the results of having something done on time, so the certainty's there, but not the process.
But here's what's interesting. When you look at the process right now, the governor seems to be just kind of looking at the political landscape more towards the center.
Absolutely.
Whereas the Democrats in the legislature are to the left of center. So can you work with the governor?
We have. We came out with this pension reform 100%. We didn't make any changes. We came out with some of his benchmarks that he wanted on reductions and cuts.
But can you work with his office on the budget? I mean, really try to go directly to the governor to give, because look, you pick off a few Republicans, lose a few Democrats, I mean, you still get the budget passed.
I think the governor sees the bottom line is he needs the majority party to support his goals. So he doesn't spend his time with us. We have offered him support on several issues, on a lot of the major reform packages that need to happen. But he realizes that if he doesn't get the Democrat leadership involved to support it, he would have to literally pick off Democrat members off of leadership. And we're not in a place where they could do that yet.
Okay, his name is Curt Hagman, member of the California State Assembly. My name is Brad Pmerance. Thank you so much for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.